All right. Let's get after it. Test tomorrow. Bring your calculator. Bring your brain. And watch this video. Study some notes. Let's take this serious. I want you guys to do well. Feel confident. I think you're ready. We've looked at it at a lot of different angles. So today in this video, I'm just going to give you a few more things to think about that'll put you in position to be successful. First thing is this. PEMDAS. We've talked a little bit about it, and I know you know what it means. But let's do an example here. PEMDAS is what's called the order of operations, and parentheses goes first, then exponents. Multiplication and division goes third, and then addition and subtraction goes last. So let's make up a problem like 4 minus 6 times 2 divided by 2 plus 5 squared times 2. Let's try that. Whoa, that's a doozy. So what do we do first? Well, first we do the parentheses. When you see a PEMDAS problem, I would encourage you to not try to do it all in your head. And I know a couple of you are thinking, Smith, I can do this in my head. All right, take the risk, but I'm telling you, if you just show your work, you're guaranteed to get the points right. Here's what I mean. 4 minus 6. Now we do the parentheses first. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So we put that in, and we write our second step. Now we look, and what comes next after the P in parentheses? It's the E for exponents. And I know that there are parentheses here, but there's nothing to do with those parentheses. That's actually just showing multiplication, negative 6 times 1. So don't think that is parentheses. The second thing we need to do is this, exponents. So 4 minus 6 times 1 plus, voila, 5 squared, 25 times 2. Now what do? Now there's no more exponents, so we move on to multiplication and division. So we're going to do this, and we're going to do this at the same step. Okay? So 4 minus 6 times 1 is 6, plus 25 times 2 is 50. Booyah. And now we're down to addition and subtraction, and we just go left to right. 4 minus 6 is negative 2, and negative 2 plus 50 is 48. So pause the video if you want. Go back and watch me do that again. I highly recommend that when you see an order of operations problem with PEMDAS, that you just do it step by step and follow your order. PEMDAS. You will see one like that coming up. Another thing that you'll see is absolute value. And just a reminder, like negative 2, 4 plus negative 8 divided by 3. Let's say we had something like that, and it just said simplify. Well, you do the absolute value first. 4 plus negative 8. What is 4 plus negative 8? That'd be negative 4, right? So it would be negative 2, negative 4 over 3. What is the absolute value of negative 4? That's just 4. The absolute value of negative 4 is just 4. And then you do negative 2 times 4 divided by 3. So just be on the lookout for absolute value. If you have the absolute value of a negative, just remember it becomes the positive. If you have the absolute value of a positive, it just stays the positive. So don't think that you switch the sign. Absolute value is just, it shows us how far away a number is from 0. So how far away is 7 from 0? Well, it's 7. How far away is negative 7 from 0? Well, it's 7. 7 away. Just a different direction. All right, part 2. Solving an equation where there's no numbers. There's going to be a couple of these on there, so let's do one. I'm just going to make one up. Let's go z equals x squared y divided by 3 minus, wait, I said no numbers, so divided by, let's just make something up, h minus f. Whoa. And let's say we want to solve for y. So looking at this problem, there's a lot going on. We need to solve for y. So what I would do if I were you is whatever you're solving for, like go and put a little box around it, because now what we have to do is we have to move everything to the other side. And remember, the way we move it to the other side is we undo it. We use our inverse operations to move it to the left. And the order that you do the inverse operations, I don't know if I've told you guys this yet, and so this is worth the entire video watch. When you are undoing things like this, you actually go in reverse PEMDAS. You wouldn't do this multiplication right here. You wouldn't do that because we have to add the f first. So you actually, when you are rearranging things and when you're solving an equation, you actually do reverse PEMDAS as your order. So we need to add f. We need to add f to both sides. Negative f and f cancels. What is z plus f? It just is z plus f equals x squared y over h. Now we're still trying to get y by itself. Now I can get rid of that h. So now I multiply by h to cancel. But I got to also multiply that side by h. So I use my parentheses to show that that h is being multiplied by both of those things. So now I am here. And I'm one step away because I am trying to solve for y, which means I need to get y by itself, which means I need to move that x squared to the left. Do I subtract it? No. Do I multiply it? No. I use the inverse operation, and since x squared times y is what's going on here, I use division on both sides to undo it. It cancels from there, and we're just left with y, which is what we wanted, and our final answer is h multiplied by z plus f, all divided by x squared. That is our answer. We took what was the original problem, and we move things around to now we have y, which is solved for. Okay, so when you're on the test tomorrow, just remember, I need to undo the operations of the variables to get the one by itself. Okay? And you can make those up. You saw how I did it. You can just say like A equals B times C plus 4. And you can solve for C, or you could maybe put all of that over a 3, and then you can kind of make them up. All right, last thing. This test, right? It's Unit 1, and the title of it is Solving Equations and Solving Inequalities. So a bulk of the test is going to be over solving. So maybe we finish our last 3-4 minutes on solving one. Remember distributive property. Let's just do a quick equation. 3 times negative 2x plus 4 is equal to negative 2x plus 5. I just made that up. It's probably not going to work out great, but let's do it. If you see this problem on the test, remember, you draw your line down. I would. And we need to simplify, get all of our variables on the left side of the equation and all of our numbers on the right side. So first we need a distributive property. 3 times negative 2x is negative 6x. 3 times 4 is 12. Negative 2x plus 5. And now I'm going to move this negative 2x to the left. It's already negative, so I have to add it to move it. And I got to be careful because negative 6 plus 2 is not negative 8. It's not positive 8. It's negative 6 and then 2 more closer to 0, so it's negative 4. You've got to watch out with your negatives. Maybe you use your calculator on the negatives so that you don't mess up. You show all of your work still, but you use your calculator so that you don't make those careless mistakes. That would be a great tip. plus 12 equals 5. Now we move the 12, and we have negative 4x equals negative 7. 5 minus 12 is negative 7, and I told you it's going to work out to be a fraction. Divide by negative 4, divide by negative 4, cancel. X equals negative 7 over negative 4 just turns to 7 over 4. Pause the video, take a look at that, follow your steps, see if you can track kind of what I did. But notice when you solve an equation, there's just one answer. If we were to put an absolute value on this, then that would change it up and there'd be 2 answers. But then inequality, which is where we'll finish, I'll switch back over to red, where we finish, inequality would be something like this. 5 minus 3x is less than or equal to 2x plus 12 plus 13 plus 20. Sorry, that's a good problem right there. Okay? So now how do we solve this again? How do we start? The first step is always important. You solve it just like an equation. You're trying to get x by itself. So let's move. With inequalities, I always like my x's to be over here on this side. I don't like him on the right, so I'm going to move this 2x over here, which cancels that, and negative 3x minus 2 more is negative 5x. I'll put this 5 still sitting there. Don't change my sign yet. Now, this is where a lot of you have messed up. Be careful. 5 minus 5x. That minus is in front of the 5x. It's not in front of the 5. So we actually, this is a positive. That 5 is positive, so we need to subtract that 5 from both sides to get it to cancel, and we have negative 5x is less than or equal to 15. Now we're solving, we divide both sides by a negative. Anytime we divide both sides by a negative, we flip our sign and get our answer. But that's only one part of our answer. That is the algebraic portion. You can rewind this video if you want to watch me solve it again. This is the algebraic version. We need to find the graphical version, which you guys have gotten really good at. You put the negative 3 in the middle, and it says greater than or equal to, which is a closed circle. And we go greater than, which is this direction. And so that means any answer above negative 3 would work. So how do we show that? That's the graphical version. How do we show that numerically? The numerical version. Anything greater than negative 3, including negative 3. So the including means we use the bracket, and then we go greater with the greater than sign. Those are our 3 ways that we can represent our answer, that any number greater than negative 3 would work. So 30 seconds left before I want to finish this. I hope this was helpful. Study your notes. Study your, go back to Khan Academy. Do any of these. No, I didn't mean to click that. I meant to just highlight any of those. You can do those to practice. You can go back to old notes, look at our old quiz for sure. That was the test. Just kidding. Actually, it was. Now I'm going to have to change all the answers. Awesome. Come in early. Let me know if you need any help, and we will go from there. Good luck. I'm on your team. Have a great Monday.